Okay, so this class is called the Mobiliser, and we're going to start off lying down on the mat. So it's all very gentle stuff. We're really going to focus a lot on our breathing in this class and synchronizing movement to the breath. And it's a mixture of combination of yoga and Pilates. So some things will be coming from the Pilates side of things, some things will be coming from yoga, and there's some stuff that's common between the two. Might use different terminology than you've heard before, but it's the same basis. We're going to start out lying back on our back. But we want to focus on getting our back into a neutral position. So if you think of creating a big arch here, so you're trying to create enough space to get your hand through, then you take your hand out and you flatten your back entirely down into the mat. And then you relax it and create that big arch again. And again, relax, and this time flatten down into the mat. And we're going to do this 3 more times, creating that big arch. And flattening down. So we're tilting the pelvis back and forth. And once again, creating the big arch. And exhale as you flatten down again. And last time, inhale as you create the arch. And exhale as you flatten down. Now from here, we're going to take the right leg. We're going to slide the heel away straight down along the mat so that it travels down in a line with your hip bone. Left leg should stay exactly where it is, so right foot only is going to slide down along the mat, straight down. Then we're going to let the leg fall out. Right leg falls out to the side, so your foot is twisting out, and then from there we pull the foot back up. So you feel this on the inner thigh. We're using the muscle in the lower stomach, pelvic floor as we pull. And we're going to exhale as we push the leg out. Twist it out to the side. Inhale then as we draw the heel up. And bring the knee up. And ideally here, you're constantly sliding, constantly moving. So it's pushing the heel away, turn the leg out, and slide it back up. We're going to do this twice more here, and then we reverse the movement. So pushing the heel out, straight down, turn the leg out, so we're opening up at the hip, pulling the heel back up towards the backside, and bring the knee up. Last time, pushing the heel away, opening up at the hip, and sliding the heel back in, and closing. Now, we're going to do the same thing, only in reverse. And this time, we want to pay attention to the left knee as well. We're only moving the right leg. The left leg should stay exactly as it is. So what will happen is you'll be inclined to probably drop the right knee out as far as you can, but you'll go so far and then you'll need to use your left leg as a counterbalance. So we're trying to avoid that. We're only going as far as we can drop that right knee out, but keeping control by using the muscles in the core and the pelvic floor. So we're dropping it out, and exhale. Now we push the heel away. Internally rotate the leg, so turn it in, and inhale as we pull the heel back in. So again, the left leg stays completely stationary like a statue. Right leg. And knee comes out to the side. Push the heel away. Internally rotate. And pull the heel in. We're going to go 3 more times here. Dropping the knee out, keeping control. Turn the leg in bring the heel in. So it's exhale out and inhale in. And once more, exhaling out and inhaling in. Very, very gentle exercise. You generally don't feel much going on with that one, but it will help in terms of stabilizing around the pelvis. So now we're going on to the left leg. So first things first, pushing the heel away, externally rotating the leg, pulling the heel back up with the knee out, and bring the knee in. So we push the heel away, and pull the heel up. This time we're trying to keep that right leg stationary. Three more times. So aiming for a nice steady movement. And again, sliding that left heel away, exhaling as you go out, and inhaling back. Last time, exhaling, releasing the leg out, and inhaling as we bring it back in. Okay, so then we reverse the movement again. Good evening and welcome. So we're doing our hip release. We're flat down on the mat and we're working on the left leg. This time we're keeping the right leg stable, left knee drops out to the side with control. So lowering under control, and then exhale, pushing the heel away, sliding it along the ground, and pulling back towards ourselves. So it's exhale as the leg drops or drifts out to the side, and exhale as we push the heel away. Then inhale as we drag the heel in along the ground. Exhale out. Exhale, pushing the heel out. Inhale back. And you can keep the head relaxed down onto the mat for these. Last one. And there we go. So from there, we're coming into our hip bridge, which you know well by now, but we're doing a slightly different variation in that we're slowly peeling the spine up away from the floor. So that little tilt forwards and backwards we did at the very start, we're building on that. So we create our arch as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we flatten down. And as we flatten down, we continue by lifting the butt away from the floor. And now we're slowly peeling the back up away from the mat. Coming right up to the shoulders. And from here, we round the shoulders and get the middle back down onto the mat. So we're rolling down slowly. Coming down like as if you're rolling a ball along. And then once the hips touch down, again we create that space on the inhale and exhaling, slowly printing the lower back onto the floor, slowly lifting the hips And coming up, peeling the spine away from the floor. Bringing the hips as high as you can comfortably go, and then lowering down again. Again, rounding down, keeping control. Inhale at the bottom of the movement, creating that arch. And again, we start to exhale as we flatten the lower back down, printing the lower back into the mat. Exhaling as we slowly peel the spine away. Rounding the shoulders, rounding the spine down along. Aiming to come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Keeping control for as long as you can. Every time at the bottom, create that arch as you inhale. And then we exhale, flattening the back and peeling, unrolling the spine away from the floor. Rolling back down. And if you feel like you're getting a cramp in your hamstring, just stretch out your leg, as I had to do there. Do not suffer in silence here. Last time, inhale as we create that arch, and exhale, printing the lower back down into the mat, and then slowly rolling the spine away from the mat. And rolling slowly back down, keeping control. And there we go. So you can have a sip of water now. We're going to move on to our side. So next up we have our shoulder openers. So for our shoulder openers, we're going to support the head here with the hand. We want the knees to be bent up to a 90-degree angle from the hips, and we want the knees themselves bent at a 90-degree angle as well. So these now are going to be a counterweight for our hand, and we're going to again synchronize the breath along with the movement. So we're going to start the inhale, and then as we're inhaling, we come back with the hand, reaching right back as far as you can go, so long as your two knees stay together. The moment you feel a lift or you feel like the knees are going to separate, that's the end of your range of movement. So that's where you're going to stop with the movement, and you're going to come back from there, however far you go. So here we go. We're going to do 3 of these coming straight back and straight forwards. So we inhale, going back as far as you can. You're watching your hand, and exhale forwards. Hand touching down on the floor just to release the tension out of the arms, the chest. And again we inhale. And exhale. Coming forward with the exhale. Inhaling back. We'll do one more. Inhaling back. And exhale forwards. Next, we build on this slightly. We go straight back again, but rather than coming forwards, we come in a circle over the head. So it's inhaling back and then coming round in an arc above the head. We're going to do 3 of those as well. So inhale back and exhale, circling up above the head. Again, touch the hand down to break the tension. Inhaling straight back and circling around over the head. And once more. Inhaling back. And circling around. From here, we're coming into our hip hitch, staying on this side. So you know the drill for your hip hitch. You're nice and straight, your legs are floating, head is supported by the hand, and we lift. We're going to do 10 of these. Exhale each time as you lift. Keeping the core engaged throughout. And we have 3 left. Last 2. And last 1. And relax the legs down. And we're going to come over to the other side. Again, coming into our position for our shoulder openers. So head supported by the hand. Knees bent up at a 90-degree angle, hips bent up 90 degrees. Coming straight back, get ourselves ready, and we inhale as we come back. And exhale, and pull forwards. Inhaling back. Exhale to come forwards. Each time on the exhale, you want to try and feel the abdomen contracting a little bit as well. And that's why we start with the exhale. And again, coming backwards and coming over the head this time in that arc. Two more times. Great stuff. And from here, coming into our nice straight position for our hip hitch. Again, head supporting, or hand supporting the head, legs floating, nice straight line through the body, toes pointed, core engaged as we lift. Wanting to stay nice and steady. Feeling the muscle here just above the hip, doing all the work. Last 2, and last 1. And relax down. From there, we're coming up to seated position. So you can sit cross-legged, or with the feet slightly out in front. You can have them bent, you can have them straight. Generally, some kind of cross-legged position, or kind of one in front of the other. Something along those lines would generally be most comfortable on this one. And what we're doing here is we're doing a side bend. So we're going to reach up, take a breath, and exhale as you come down to the other side. And we want to keep both of the sit bones on the ground. You don't need to come far. You should feel a nice stretch along the side here. You're going to stay here. Take a nice big deep breath in. And you should really feel that increase the stretch that you're getting. So you can have the arm straight reaching up like this, or you can bend the arm a bit more. With the arm bent, you will get more of a stretch down the back of the tricep, down into the lats. And we're going to take one more deep breath in and out here. We're going to inhale here, and then as we exhale, we come back towards the center. And we switch over to the other side. Again, from our seated position, we reach up high, and we take our breath in. And we lean across. And if, like me, you're quite stiff, you won't have too far to go before you feel the stretch. Again, keeping both sit bones down on the floor. If one of the sit bones is lifting, come back up a little bit. Make sure you've got that bone rooted down into the floor. So we're using the breath each time. On the inhale, getting that stretch. And then on the exhale, allowing yourself to come down slightly more. And this time, we inhale and come back to center. Okay, from there, we are now coming up onto the knees. And we're coming into our half kneeling lunge and twist. So we're on one knee. We're going to start with the right. And if you find that this puts a lot of pressure on your kneecap, you can roll up your mat a little bit or bend up your mat underneath, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. Simply doubling it up like that gives me a little bit more padding, protects the knee. So I'm going to be vertical here on the supporting knee, on my right knee, putting the two hands together in the center, and I'm going to rotate towards my left. Coming down, getting the elbow to the outside of the knee, keeping or aiming for a straight line from one elbow to the other. We don't want to be down here like this. So keep the focus. I'm now using my elbow here to push against my knee. And I'm looking over the other shoulder. Big deep breath in and out. So actively creating some tension through the body. One last time, big deep breath in and out. And release that one. And we switch over to the other knee. So again, make sure you've got that bit of cushioning underneath the knee. You may feel a strong stretch here on the front of the thigh, or the top of the thigh. Generally a sign you've been in too much time sitting at the desk and not enough time with the hips opened up. So again, same thing, hands are here in front of the chest, and we inhale. As we twist to the side, bring the elbow down towards the back of the knee. Actively pushing the knee and the elbow against each other. Take your big deep breath here. And keep going, using your breath in and out. I'm just going to change angle here so I can see. Here we go. So keeping that straight line from one elbow to the other. Actively pushing your left elbow now against your right knee. And again, big deep breath in. There we go. And going to release that and come back. We're going to build on that now. We're going to do hip and shoulder opener. So from here, we're coming into this position. Again, that half kneeling position. We're going to bring both hands down to either side of the foot. I'm actually going to just switch feet here briefly. so you can see what I'm at, and so I can see what you're at. So from here, I've got my right foot forward. I'm going to take my right hand off the floor. Going to point my elbow at the ceiling, reaching up with my fingertips, reaching for the ceiling. The other hand, I'm actively pushing down into the floor. Taking a big deep breath and exhale down. And I'm going to repeat that 4 more times. So I'm inhaling up, reaching fingertips for the ceiling, and exhale down. 3 more times. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Pushing the floor away and exhale down. Last time. Great stuff. And we can switch legs. Now bringing the left leg forward. And I'm just going to spin around here so I can keep an eye on you. So again, coming from that right angle on both legs, we're going to inhale as I lift the left hand away from the floor. The left elbow points up to the ceiling and reaching for the ceiling with the left hand. And exhale down, folding the arm, bring the hand back to the floor. And again, we inhale up. Stretch, pushing the right hand down into the floor. We exhale down. 3 more times. Inhaling up, stretching, and exhale down. Last 2. Stretch. Exhale down. So we're really creating as much length as we can from one hand to the other. Right through the body, pushing down into the floor, reaching up for the ceiling, and exhale down. And relax. So those are something that you'll really feel. You can modify those a little bit in terms of how far you open up with the shoulders and how much effort you put into reaching that hand up to the ceiling. And you can also adjust it to hit more on the front of the hip or to get more on the shoulders. We'll see more of that next week. Okay, from here we're into our cat and cow. So we're on all fours. And from here, we're going to tuck the chin into the chest as we exhale. Pushing your back up towards the ceiling, tucking your tailbone in towards yourself. So like you're trying to shorten the space between your belly button and your chin. Take a big deep breath in there, up, breathing up into the back. And exhale as you move, pushing your butt back. Letting your lower back drift down towards the floor, and we're looking forwards. Big deep breath in there and exhale as you move. Bring your chin into your chest, pushing your back up towards the ceiling, tucking your tailbone in underneath. Big breath there and exhale as you move. So we're taking nice big inhales at each end, and we breathe out as we move. I want you to really think of using that lower stomach as you're tucking the tailbone under. And using the muscles in the lower back as you're coming into this position. 3 more times through this. As usual, on this one, we're still pushing the hands down into the floor. Slow and steady. Last time. Great stuff. From here, we're staying on the hands and knees. If you find a strain on the wrist when you're doing these, you can use a book, or you can double up the edge of the mat or fold it up maybe a few times just to create a bit more of a raise underneath the hand. And if you think of having the fingers folding over the edge of your mat or over the edge of the book, that will take a lot of the strain. Being able to bend the fingers here over the edge of whatever's supporting them will take a lot of strain off the wrist. So you could use yoga block or something if you have one there as well. These are just a couple of ways around that pressure. From here though, we're into our kneeling Superman. So knees are hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. And from here we're going to lift the right arm and the left leg. So I'm going to take the left leg first, then the right arm comes up, thumb up towards the ceiling. Trying to keep the back nice and flat. We're not going for height, we're going for length. Pushing my heel away, my toes are down towards the floor. And I relax down. Switching to the other side, same thing. Leg comes back, arm comes up. Thumb up towards the ceiling, heel pushing back, toes down to the floor. And I relax them down. Now we work on coordinating the breath as well. So we inhale as we lift, breathing in. And exhale down. Every time going for length rather than height. Pushing the heel backwards helps stretch the back of the leg. If you have the toe or the ball of the foot pushing back, you'll find you won't feel this as much in the hamstring, maybe even into the buttock. Trying to get a stretch down through the whole back chain or the rear kinetic chain, sometimes called the rear deep line. I'll go twice more on each side. Last one. Great stuff. Now we're coming down onto our stomachs. So you can take that fold out of the mat. Right down onto the stomachs for our back extension. So to strengthen the lower back here, we're going to pull using the muscles in the lower back. We don't want the backside doing any work here, so we're going to think of keeping the feet down on the floor. If your feet lift, straight away that means your backside is going to start working. It's a big strong muscle, it wants to help. It's nice like that, but we want the lower back to do all the work here. So keep the feet down on the ground. You can have the arms down here by your sides. Take a deep breath in. Gently think of pushing your stomach down into the mat, and then we lift, pulling with the lower back. We don't need to come up high, and release down. We're going to do 7 more. Inhale, press the stomach down into the mat, and pull using the lower back. And release. So it's a small movement and it's a gentle movement. Inhale, press the stomach down, and release down. Pressing the stomach into the mat just helps engage the core, and we pull using the lower back, keeping the feet down on the ground so the backside isn't doing the work. And release down. So we're all about control here. And release. Last 2. And the last one. Here we go. We lift and pulling with the lower back, keeping your feet down on the ground. You're going to hold here at the top and lift as high as you can, keeping the feet on the ground. Hold for another 3, 2, 1, and relax down. You're going to need a little bit of a stretch after that. So next up we have Cobra and Child's Pose. So from here we're bringing the hands under the shoulders, and we're going to start the same way. So we press the stomach into the ground, we pull with the lower back, but now we're going to push with the hands until the arms are straight. Looking up at the ceiling, letting the hips sag down towards the floor. Make sure you're not letting your shoulders get close to your ears. You don't want to sink down into your shoulders. You want to push the shoulders away from the ears, pushing the hands down into the floor. Big deep breath into the lower stomach. Should feel horribly uncomfortable. And exhale, you're going to push your butt back and slide right back so you're almost sitting on your heels. Taking a nice big deep breath in here. Exhale. Feel a bit of stretch in the shoulders. Big deep breath in and exhale down into the stretch. Third time, big breath in. And this time as we exhale, we're coming onto the knees again. Moving forwards, dropping the hips down. And again, we're coming back to our Cobra. Now this time the hands will be lower down probably than they were before. This is usually a slightly better spot. So we inhale, press the stomach down into the floor and push the floor away. Keeping the hips down as low as you can, deep breath into the lower stomach. And exhale back. Coming right back. Practically sitting on your heels. One more deep breath in and we move. And back to our Cobra. Again, hips come down first, then the stomach, chest and chin. Deep breath in. And we exhale. As we peel away from the floor, pushing the hands down into the floor. At this point, the hands should be almost right under the shoulders. Hips down as low as you can get them, looking up at the ceiling. Deep breath into the lower stomach and exhale back. Sitting on our heels again. Deep breath in and exhale as we come forwards. Coming down. Hips, stomach, chest and chin. Deep breath in. And exhale, lift the chin, the chest, the stomach, pushing the hands down into the floor, keeping the ears well away from the shoulders, driving the shoulders downwards. Deep breath into the stomach. Exhale, pushing back. I'm going to do this 3 more times. Deep breath in. Exhale, come forward. Hips come down, stomach, chest and chin. Inhale. And lift the chin, chest, stomach and hips. Pushing the hands down into the floor, shoulders well away from the ears. Deep breath into the lower stomach. Pushing back. Back into our child's pose. Deep breath in here. Exhale up. And come right through. Back to our cobra. Good work. We're nearly there. Looking up at the sky, deep breath into the bottom of the stomach. Feel the stretch and exhale, pushing back. Deep breath in here, exhaling forwards. Last one. Hips come down, stomach, chest and chin. Deep breath and we lift the chin, chest, stomach, keeping the hips low, shoulders away from the ears, looking up at the ceiling. Deep breath in. Feel the stretch in the lower stomach and exhale back. We're going to stay here. You can either have the arms straightened like this, or you can bring the hands back to your feet. Let the forehead rest on the ground. I'm going to stay here, take a few more nice deep breaths. Each time inhaling, swelling out the back. And exhaling, releasing any tension. One more big deep breath in and out. And we can slowly come out of that and come back to normal. The hard work is done. Now it's time to take a sip and gather yourself. Just to finish off in our seated position here, I'm going to turn, keeping both sit bones anchored into the mat and turning both hands coming to the right. So my right hand here is coming round behind me, keeping my shoulder away from my ear but also not collapsing it down. So I'm in a tall straight posture and I maintain that posture as I come around. My left hand is pushing here against the outside of my right thigh. My right hand is inching around on the floor. Big deep breath in and exhale and relax. last one. And we come around to the other side. Again, find your nice tall posture here in the center. And hand comes to the outside of the leg. Left hand, fingers just inching across the floor behind. Making sure both sit bones are anchored down into the floor. And the last big deep breath in and out. And there we go. Job done. Hopefully the body is feeling a little bit more mobile now. It should be. You'll find you have a little bit more movement. You'll probably find the muscles themselves are maybe a little bit stiff after that, but you'll find when you go to move your body, you'll actually generally have a little bit more movement as a result of everything coming through a full range of motion. Thank you for joining me this evening. See you soon.